Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome, and I hope you will subscribe. My name is Zenande, and if you are returning, welcome back, and thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. Guys, okay, so I'm gonna be sharing my experience being pregnant in a foreign country. As many of you might know, I'm from South Africa, and I've stayed in South Africa all my life. I've never been out of the country except for now. Okay, originally from South Africa in the Eastern Cape. Then I went to Cape Town to study and also started working there in Cape Town. And then I moved or immigrated to Australia to join my partner, the father of my kids. So basically, he'd been here for a long time. He'd been here for quite some time, for a couple of years, but it had been in our plans for me or for us to come and join him. But I kept on postponing, guys. One thing about me, I get too comfortable, and once that happens, it's very difficult for me to move out of my comfort zone. So I knew that eventually I had to leave South Africa and come and join my partner, but I kept on postponing. But luckily my partner was understanding, so he was like, no, take your time, whenever you are ready, then you guys can come through. So March 2022, we finally decided to come and join him. All right, everything was in place. Our visas had been approved like a long time ago. And then we came here, my daughter and I landed on the 31st of March, I think. Funny story. Okay, anyway, so you know, most when people have been apart for some time, things happen. And we hadn't even settled. One thing about my period, it's very regular. So I know if I miss my period, then definitely I'm pregnant. There's something in there. Because even with my previous pregnancy, I missed my period, then I knew that, okay, it's game over. I'm pregnant, right? So there's no way that I can miss that. I'm pregnant. So, fine. I think I even at one point, we went to buy sanitary towels because I thought, okay, my period is coming soon, so I better get ready. And because of, like, I didn't know which brand to buy, right? I knew I'd struggle with the brands because of the shift from South Africa to Australia. Obviously, the brands won't be the same. So this one time we went to buy sanitary towels, fine. Then the date that my period was supposed to come came and went by. I was like, okay. I think on the day that I fell pregnant, or the day resulting to the pregnancy, I knew that I had fallen pregnant. I don't know, it's weird, but I think I knew that, okay, I'm gonna fall pregnant. And my partner like kept saying that, no, you know what, if you're waiting for your period, you are wasting your time. Basically, your period is not gonna come, you are pregnant. And like he was smelling some things, like his senses were heightened. He was smelling things around the house. He was exhausted, he was sleepy, and he kept on saying, hey, I think you are pregnant. But I was like, no ways, I'm not pregnant. Hoping that not that I was hoping that I'm not pregnant, but I was like, okay, I don't think I am, but I might be. Anyway, my period window came and went by. I think it was like 3 or 5 days after I was expecting my period. Then I was like, I think we must take a pregnancy test. Fine. We went and bought the pregnancy test. I took the test. I didn't even wait for umchamo the next morning, like the first urine of the day or anything like that, or first pee of the day. I took it right there and then. It was during the day. I took it. And it came back and it said 5 weeks pregnant. I think three plus weeks pregnant. That was it, you guys. I mean, I hadn't even settled in Australia and already I was pregnant. So I'm just going to compare with you guys, like, between South Africa and Australia, how things are done here. So at the time, I was in the process of applying for Medicare. So if you are a citizen here or you are a permanent resident, you are entitled to a Medicare, where you apply for it and then you get a card. You don't have to pay to see the doctor, right? So some take Medicare. I think some will probably charge over that, but I haven't experienced a doctor that charges way beyond. Like, you know, in South Africa they say medical aid pays for 100% of your bill, but then you find out that if the doctor is not in your network, they probably charge 150%, so you pay for the 50% that's over the 100% unless you have gap cover. So fine, we had applied, but it wasn't finalized. The application wasn't finalized and I needed to see the doctor. So I went to consult with the doctor and I had to pay. I think I paid $74, which is equivalent to 700 or 800 rand, South African rand, if I were to convert to South African rand, which is very expensive, especially if you're paying from your own pocket. And bear in mind, you guys, I'm not working, right? So my partner is. So after the first consultation, I mean, I had been following up with the Medicare application. I phoned Medicare and they said it takes about 28 working days for the application to be processed and finalized. And at that point, it hadn't been finalized. I remember when we were applying for Medicare, because I was applying for me and my daughter. When we were applying, like, the first time when I phoned to follow up, they said, no, we received your forms, but then the file was a zip. You sent a zip file and we cannot access a zip file. We can't open a zip file. And then I had to send the application again, and the document, like, your documents include your visa, whether you're a permanent resident, your passport, all of that jazz. And then they said, the second time around, they said, no, we can't find the application form that you sent. Please forward it again. And I asked, are you going to start from this day that I'm sending, like today that I'm sending the application form? Are you gonna start counting from today? Because 28 working days with public holidays in between is a very, very long time. The lady that I spoke to said, no, we're gonna start counting from the day that you said you sent your application form. But then when I followed up, obviously I'm phoning a call center, so I'm not gonna get the same person. When I phoned again to follow up, they said, no, the process had to start from zero, from scratch. So we're starting over, we're counting from zero. Anyway, after consulting with my doctor, and then we decided to go to the offices where I apply for Medicare. When we got there, I think it had been some weeks after I had sent the documents. When we got there, I mean, they did everything there. They said, okay, your application has been successful. Here's your card, or you can wait for your card in the mail. Did they say that? They say I must either wait for my card or they can print out one for me. I said, please print it out because I cannot wait any longer. They printed my card. Oh, I think they said I could access it on my phone. I must just go to the Medicare, search for Medicare, fill in my details, and then my card, I'll have my virtual card. Then they will send me another card, because they said they had sent it to the address that we were staying in, but we had moved at that time. So they said, okay, we're going to send it to your new address. Fine. I was happy, to say the least, because at least now I could go to the doctor and produce my Medicare and not have to pay from my own pocket, right? So fine. For the consultation that I had paid for, I then claimed from the medical aid, which I got half of the money. See what I said about the doctors billing you more than what the Medicare can pay for. So I got half of the money that I paid, right, which was fine. Okay, now let's fast forward to how the process is right here in Australia. My doctor had explained to me is that I have 3 options, where it's either I consult with the doctor and then the doctor will refer me to a place where I can go and have my scans, or to the hospital to have my scans, or option 2 was to, if I have private insurance, right, private health care, I could go to a gynae, consult with a gynae, or if I have money to pay, like there's a fee that you must pay, like a very it's very expensive. So it's either that. So option 1 would be to go to a doctor and then the doctor will give me a referral letter, then I'd go for my scan. Or option 2, I'd go to a gynae, but I'd have to pay. Option 3 was to see a midwife. Now you have to pay because it's a private service, right? So I opted for option 1, which is to go to the doctor, which is a GP, right? Just a general practitioner. Then the GP will write me a referral letter. Then I'd go to imaging or whatever, radiology consultation room, where I could do the scans, and then they'd send the report to my doctor, and then I'd have to go for a follow-up, and then the doctor will explain what the scan says basically. But what I found here is that they'd write you a detailed report, like you'd have your pictures, right? You can request for them to send you the scan or the report with the scan, with the imaging, and then the other copy they will send to your doctor. So when you go to your doctor for a follow-up, it's just for them to read whatever is written on the report, which you can also read yourself, right? But then to get another referral for the next scan, you need to go and see your doctor anyway. So that's how I was doing things. I'd go to my doctor and then get a referral for the next scan. And guys, to be honest, I changed so many doctors. I remember the first one that I went to, when we moved to where we're staying right now, then the place was too far for me to travel, right? And then I found doctor's rooms that are close by. So I went there. Then I saw the doctor there. The next time when I went there, the doctor had left. Then I had to see another one. So another one, and then the next time I went there, I think he was off sick or something, so I had to see another one. So I think I've seen 4 doctors already, right? But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So first scan is at 8 weeks, right? That's your dating scan. At 8 weeks, where they check if there's only one embryo, if it's in the right place, and the estimated due date, right? And then the second scan, which is at 12 weeks, that's I think it's called the anatomy scan, where they check if your baby is gonna have Down syndrome and stuff. That's at 12 weeks. And then after that, you only go at 20 weeks, right? For the detailed scan, that one takes about 2 hours, right? Because they must check everything and also confirm if there's still only one embryo, the baby, it's not an embryo at that point. I think it's, what is it called? It's a, whatever it's called. There's only one baby basically there. And yeah, then after that, they send your reports to your doctor, and then your doctor will obviously consult you, and then they will tell you that, okay, this is what's happening, this is how everything is. And then After 20 weeks, like at 20 weeks, then your doctor will tell you that, okay, now that you've reached 20 weeks, I'm going to refer you to a hospital. Then the hospital is going to manage your pregnancy going forward until you give birth, right? So they take your file, all your documents, and then they send them to a hospital. And then after that, a midwife will give you a call, and then they will explain what will happen, right, next. So what happened is I received a call then from my midwife, and then she explained to me, okay, so the next scan that you're gonna have is the scan between 26 and 28 weeks, and it's called, no, it's not a scan, a test that you will have is at 28 weeks, and it's called the GTT test. And you also need to, if you don't know your blood group, I think I'd forgotten my group, I think I'm type B, I can't remember. So they said, okay, then you're gonna have to also do a blood group test. So the GTT test, which is the glucose tolerance test, checks for gestational diabetes, right? And then after that, I don't know what happens. I really have no idea what happens after 28 weeks or after that test. But the midwife did explain to me, and they sent me a file with books, and like they sent me information about, I think, how the antenatal process happens here, and also there are groups where mothers gather, and there's a Facebook group apparently for super moms to, I think they maybe go to the park, or they whatever event that they want to organize, then they would obviously chat about it there on Facebook. But I'm not on Facebook. But anyway, if I were to compare South Africa and Australia, I'd definitely say or maybe it's because it's all I've known. In South Africa, I think they are more detailed in terms of their antenatal care. I don't know if I should call it care or whatever the process is like for antenatal. I remember with my first pregnancy, I think I had more scans than I've had here. Obviously the first one being at 8 weeks, because I remember I think I had to wait for 8 weeks. That's when they can feel they can hear the heartbeat. You can hear the heartbeat, I think, from 8 weeks moving forward. So but after that, I think it's once every month until your third trimester, which is when you are close to your due date. Then I think the scan is like weekly. In South Africa as well, you have access to a gynecologist. You don't have to be referred by your doctor, especially if you have medical aid. I remember when I found out I was pregnant, I started searching for gynaes, and then I phoned them, and then they say, okay, on this date you can come. Unlike here where you have to, it's a process, you have to, maybe it's because I don't have private health care, I don't know, but I feel like it's just difficult to access OB-GYNs here, and I think there's probably few of them, if I'm not mistaken, because I know it's a specialized field, or it's a specialist field, or that is a specialist, but at the same time, I think in South Africa they are more accessible than they are here. One more thing is that in South Africa, when I was pregnant, every time I'd go to my gynae, they'd perform I'd do a urine test. Here I only did it once, and it was because I requested it. Otherwise, I just consult with EGP. If you tell them that you are suspecting that you have E infection, it will go away. It's because of the hormones. That's what they said. I mean, in South Africa, even though I knew that I didn't have infection, but the fact that I was using a public toilet, especially at work, it gave me comfort that okay, I didn't have a bladder infection or something. Like they test for every time I went to see my gynae, I take urine test. So here I should none of that. There's none of that. So what I heard here is that now the next scan after, no, so my last scan was at 20 weeks. So the next scan apparently is at 36 weeks, just before I gave birth. And also what the midwife told me is that she said, so she gave me she sent me the file obviously, and then when we spoke over the phone, because we had a video consultation which turned into a telephone consultation because I couldn't get the audio from her side. So she said to me, if I am feeling contractions or if I have an emergency, I need to call. Then she gave me the number, right? And she said, you don't come to the hospital and they will tell me when to come to the hospital. Like when I'm feeling contractions, I give them a call, then they will tell me when to come, because it's a day hospital, but then they accommodate patients overnight, but they close. So it's a day hospital, but then they do accommodate patients overnight. So I'm like, my goodness. So if I'm experiencing contractions and then maybe it's one contraction every 15 minutes, then they're gonna tell me no, just wait it out. Oh my goodness. I'm just praying that whatever happened the last time when I was in labor could happen this time as well. I know that pregnancies are not the same, but I'm really hoping that for that part it would be the same as my daughter, like my firstborn, because with her I started feeling contractions at 12 a.m. and I went to the hospital. I drove myself to the hospital and they didn't turn me away there, and in fact they said I was progressing very, very quickly, and I gave birth 5 hours later. So I'm really hoping that this time around the same happens. I don't want to be turned away while I'm in pain. I think that on that spot, right, if that happens. So yeah, that's that. I think that's all the notes that I had. Yeah, I think that's all. Oh, in terms of vitamins or pregnancy vitamins, here I think they are much more expensive. I don't know if they are expensive or not, but in a pack, a pack lasts you for 3 months. So I've only bought twice, and the first time I bought them, they cost me, I think they were on special, they cost me I think $45, which is like 450 rands. And the second time they were $85, but then I think I got a discount, which I think I got them for $65, which is the one that I'm currently using. I think in South Africa the Preg Omega is, I think it lasts you for 30 days if I'm not mistaken, or the Pregnavit lasts you for 30 days, but here it lasts for like 3 months. But they are very expensive. They are very expensive, but then shame they last. So yeah, I really do hope that this video was informative, and I hope that I was able to compare between South Africa and the Medicare here. But otherwise, Shem, I'm happy, except for the fact that especially before you start feeling your baby kick, right, you want that assurance that everything is fine, that your baby is doing well. So you really, I remember even in South Africa, I used to miss my daughter. I just couldn't wait for the next visit, doctor's visit. I used to miss seeing her on the scan. I think it was once every month, man, in South Africa. I think it was every month, but here you are, it's a long wait. It's really a long wait. So I think in terms of that, I miss South Africa. But yeah, at this point I can feel the kicks, and yeah, I just can't wait. I'm anxious because the due date is coming closer and closer, but yeah, I can't wait to meet my baby. Alright you guys, this is where I'm going to end today's video. If you liked it, please do remember to give it a thumbs up, comment on the comment section down below, and let me know what you think of the differences between South Africa and Australia in terms of Medicare, and also if you are pregnant. Let me know in the comment section what I've left out, especially if you are in South Africa or even in Australia. Maybe I've left out something that you think is important, so please leave a comment down below. And also guys, do stay tuned for my update semester 1 and semester 2, where I'll be sharing what my experience was like. Where I think I'm also going to include there maybe the comparison between pregnancy 1 and pregnancy 2. I know that they say no two pregnancies are the same, but maybe I can check it in there and just let you guys know what my experience has been like in both pregnancies. But yeah, please stay tuned for more videos, especially content around my pregnancy. But here and there I'm gonna check in vlogs, obviously, because it's Vlogtober and I don't want to miss the train. So yeah, I'm going to be uploading a lot of content this month, or going forward really, because I think I have a lot to share. So yeah guys, please do subscribe if you haven't subscribed, comment, like, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay safe and God bless. Bye.